Hey everyone, I am so excited about this project. This is a birthday card organizer, and I have to give kudos to my sister-in-law Diana, who gave me the idea for this. I do not like the system that I have, which is pretty much a non-existent system, so it's not working for me at all. She gave me this idea and I said, okay, I need to find a way to do this, and this is what I came up with, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will be showing you how I made this. It's not as difficult as you think, I promise. All right guys, let's get started. So I've made a few little cheat sheets for you that you can take screenshots of if you need to. I think it would be helpful. So these are the supplies that you will need to make this card organizer. Hanging file folder, which I happen to have so many of these. So this is what I used. What's in here? Oh, okay. So that's what you need. You may find prettier ones. I actually really like the army green, khaki, olive green kind of color, so I was happy to use these. But I know there are other colors out there, so I mean, you can use whatever you want. But I used what I had, and luckily I like that color. So that's all you need. Well, that's not all you need. You need several of these. I'm going to say you're going to need 14 of these to make this, possibly more, and you'll find out why later. So there's that, and pretty papers. I will be using the papers from my French Country Lilacs junk journal kit, and here's some scraps that from those papers. So that's going to be the look and the feel of my card organizer, and I'm so excited about it. All right, a hole punch. I suggest the standard hole punch size. You could also, if you wanted, use the crocodile on the larger setting, but the paper hole punch is even larger than the large size on this. And I think for our purposes, this is a better size. So that being said, if you're going to be using the standard hole paper punch, or paper hole punch, you will need 5mm metal grommets. And because they're slightly larger and they fit quite nicely. The hole is actually still a little bit larger than this, but it covers it up quite nicely. So little metal grommet for that. And the crocodile or any sort of tool like this is what you'll need to crimp those in place. Okay. Paper glue. I'm going to be using a combination of just good old stick glue and my favorite art glitter glue. So, but you can use whatever you have on hand. You're just going to be gluing paper, so nothing fancy. 2-inch book binder rings, which are these little guys. And I think the 2-inch is just about the right size. I guess you could do it bigger, but I wouldn't recommend doing it smaller. All right, and then month sheets, which you will be able to get as a freebie on my Facebook page, not my Creative Paper Artisan page, but my community page, which is called Creative Paper Artisan Paper Crafting Community. But here's the link to it. That will take you straight to that group. Just answer the questions and you're in. And then just go to the Files tab and you'll see all my freebies there. And the month sheet will be part of it. And let me show you what that looks like. So that's the month sheet for the birthday card organizer. And I am happy to share that with you for joining my page, or for joining my community, I should say. All right, so that is that. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that if you haven't already. All right. Now let's get down to the math, which always makes me a little bit woozy. I don't like numbers. Okay, so these are the measurements for the folders. Let me kind of explain it to you. So the overall height is going to be 8.5. So if you cut this like right below the metal hanger thing, that is perfect. So 8.5 actually, yeah, comes to about there. So it gives you, you know, some room. I already cut it on my paper, my massive paper cutter machine, because I've been a paper nerd for a long time, and I have a big. I also have this type of cutter, but I would not recommend this for the file folders because it's pretty thick. So worst case scenario, you can, if you don't have like one of those, you know, choppers, just take, you know, take a ruler. Let me show you here. Just take a ruler, make your line, and then take either a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, and, you know, cut it. Of course, do it on a surface where you won't ruin, but that will work just fine too. I just happen to have a big paper mache, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but so the overall is going to be 8.5 inches high. Here's one cut already. 8.5 inches high by 8 inches wide, which leaves you. This is what it leaves you, and you're going to want to hang on to that, and you're going to see why in a minute. And then the front pocket, which is what I'm calling this section here, needs to be 5.5 inches high. So you're just going to trim off 3 inches. That makes it easier. So once you've cut it, then just take it and then cut 3 inches off one side. And then the side vent, which this is going to be, needs to be 2 inches wide total, with a fold of 1/4 inch on each side to glue. And I'm just going to skip over the details of this, and I'll just show you when we get to that point. I think it'll be easier. And then the hole punches, you'll see. Just I guess take a screenshot of this too, and for your reference later. Hole punches will need to be at 1 inch, 4 1/4 inch, and 7.5 inches. Okay, so one more sheet of measurements, and this is going to be for your papers. So the inside of the pocket which is what I'm calling this area, is 7 3/8 wide by 8 inches high. And then the front of the pocket, which is this area here, is 7 3/8 wide and 5 inches high. And that gives me the nice little border. I mean, you know, none of these measurements are honestly just unto death, because you can make it bigger or smaller. I wouldn't recommend too much smaller, because there's some cards out there that are pretty large actually. I'll show you the mess that I've got with my cards right now, and which is why I wanted to create this. But anyway, take a screenshot of that if you have not already. I'll put this away. But let me show you my card system right now. It's a mess. I mean, it's a nice concept. It's a box that I bought somewhere years ago, and it has little tabs, you know, with congratulations and birthday, but you know, I've got large cards that like barely fit in here, and they're just they're by category of, you know, the type of card, not necessarily by people's birthdays. There's no dates in here, and I have become horrible with remembering people's birthdays and getting their cards to them on time. So this has not helped me much at all. So this is going to go bye-bye. Well, I'll probably use the box for something else because that's a nice box, but not for cards. So let us get started, shall we? All right, so like I said, this is already pre-cut because I had to do it off camera because my machine is over there. So, but I can cut the papers on camera for you, and I shall. Okay. So, let me see here. I gotta get my cheat sheet out here again. So, I want to do 2 different papers. I mean, you could do everything matchy-matchy, and that'd be pretty too. You know, if you wanted to get whatever, you know, whatever paper you put it in here, and then put the same paper on the front, that'd be lovely too. I decided to just make it coordinated instead of matching. So I'm gonna want this paper on the inside, and then this one on the outside. So let me get this out of the way. All right, let's see here. So the inside of the pocket, 7 3/8 inches wide, and I want this. Let me move this up so you can see. I want this part to show instead of this part, so I'm going to turn it upside down, and 7 1 2 3/8. It's right there. And 8 inches high. And that's going to be the top, so I'm going to cut the bottom. Okie dokie. And then I want this on the front like that. So, and this is all pretty much the same, so 7 3/8 wide again. And 5 inches high. All right, and these it leaves lovely scraps. I've got a bunch of lovely scraps that I am not going to throw away. I either make belly bands or pockets or tags or something. This is too good to throw away. So, all right, I think I'm done cutting for now. So I'll put this guy away. All right, so here comes the fun part. So I'm going to just glue this right here, and the rim that kind of naturally happens from the folder is perfect. It's a perfect kind of line. I just line the paper up to the top of that, and it's lovely, absolutely lovely. So, okay, I'm going to use my glitter glue. I tell you, sometimes I say things backwards. Okay, not sometimes, I do it a lot. You know in your car when your seat heats up, and you know, I think those are called seat heaters, and I always have to think about how I say it, because I always, if I don't think about it first, I always say heat seaters. Heat seaters comes out of my mouth, and then I think, wait a second, that doesn't even make sense. Heat seater. It's a seat heater. So this is glitter glue, not glue glitter. Good night. Okay. All right, so just kind of center it. Oops. And with the glitter glue, you don't have a whole lot of time to make adjustments, I've noticed. I'm just going to use my little bone folder here. Kind of smooth that out. Get the glue all the way to the edges. Okay, done. And the same for this. Yep, that's the right side up. You sure don't need a whole lot of this glitter glue. It doesn't take much, which is good because it's kind of pricey, honestly, I think. It's a bit pricey, but I really like it. Okay. Just center that. Bada boom, bada bing. I mean, seriously, this is not a hard project at all. It's just there's a lot to it. It takes a while because there's a lot to it because you're doing 12 of these at the least. So it kind of takes a little bit of time. But it's really not hard. Okay, so here now is where we come to our little scrap. Remember this guy? The thing that I like, let me just mention, the thing that I like about using these folders is because they're already really sturdy and they've got you know, these it's scored so that you have some space to fold and to kind of expand if you need to. And there's, I don't know, it feels like it's kind of reinforced. So it just, I think it's strong, you know. So this one happens to have scoring. Let me see. I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's kind of like little ridges. So I've just been, let me make sure that it's, this one I think, I have a menagerie of folders, so they don't all exactly match. They're all kind of the same color, but I think they're all different brands from when I've bought them over the years. So I just want to make sure this one actually, the scoring isn't as obvious. So I just did a 1-inch mark because that's where I want to cut roughly. And again, great scraps for tags or something. I'll be using that. And all right. So overall, it needs to be 2 inches, which is, let me bring this back here. The side vent overall 2 inches wide, which is what I've got here. And then what I'm going to do is fold it kind of into itself because we want the darker, the prettier finished side to show up like that. So I'm folding it. It was like this. I'm folding it backwards like this. And then, so that I can glue it to that, I'm going to fold it about 1/4 of an inch down. I don't know if you can see the angle here. I'm going to do that again here. And it's funny because all of the other folders that I've done, I pre-made the other 11 so that you wouldn't have to watch me do 11 pages. So you can actually do it yourself and not watch me for 5 hours. All of the other ones I did had the scoring go all the way to the 1-inch mark, but this one does not. This must be a different brand. Okay, so see if this makes sense to you. So here's the finished side, the darker side, right? And this is going to be the vent. And so I fold it down a little bit, 1/4 of an inch, so that I can glue it on each side. Yeah. And when I was experimenting with this, I went ahead and cut a whole nother folder so that the vent would be as long as this, which is 5 inches. So I have one pocket that has a longer vent, is what I'm calling it. I'm not sure if that's the right word, really. But then I had all these other pieces, the pieces that I cut off, that were just kind of going to waste. And I thought, you know what? If I just glue it to the top, like this, and if there's a little bit of empty space here, that's not going to bother me at all. So if it bothers you, then go ahead and cut, but you're going to have to cut a whole nother folder to adjust, or to accommodate the 5-inch right here. And that's fine if you want to do that. I'm not going to judge you. But I wanted to kind of use as much of every bit and piece as I could. So I think that'll be just fine. So I'm going to do a bead of glue here. And then just line it up with the top. And kind of get it lined up along this edge as well. And again, with this art glitter glue, it dries fast. So I can already work on this. I'm just going to make sure that, you know, that's folding like this. And then I'll put glue on here. And this can be a little bit trickier because you don't want to get it on your fingers necessarily, but you don't want it to glue to the wrong spot. So I just kind of like to do it like sit it up on its side and just keep making sure it's kind of lined up with the edge and just keep. Okay, there. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay. Now, oh, I almost forgot. This is I already cut this from the month sheet that you can get as a freebie for joining my community. And I'm going to use the glue stick for this, because one thing I've noticed about the art glitter glue, I have a few that I did with this glue. You can kind of see the lines. It doesn't squish, it doesn't squish flat, and I just kind of didn't want to take I guess you can brush it on. If I used a brush, maybe like a flat, well, goodness gracious, it's falling apart. Like a flat brush to spread the glue out, then I guess you could do that too. But I don't know if I'm being lazy or being efficient, but I was like, that's taking too much time. So I wouldn't use this for these parts unless you have a really good glue. This glue is really basic, and I tried it and it just kind of peels off really easy, way too easy. So I wanted this to be on good and sturdy, and it seems to work fine with this, the regular paper on paper. It just didn't work very well with the cardstock type paper here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a big glob in the middle. And then on here, I'm just going to do the edges. A lot. And then just center it. Okay. Now, as you have seen, you can just go ahead and write your month, and then there's all the different days of the month. I just have 31 on all of them, although obviously not all months have 31 days. And then, you know, on each, like my birthday is July 22nd. So if I make this the July pocket, my name would go here. Of course, I'm not sending myself a birthday card, so I guess that wasn't a good example. But if someone's birthday is January 15, then you will make this January, and you will write their name on there. So that way you can visually see whose birthday is coming up quickly. You can pre-buy cards, buy them ahead of time. You know, I always will see cards for somebody's birthday that's, you know, 6 months away, and I don't buy it because I don't have a good system, but I do now. But anyway, I'm going to start pre-buying my birthday cards again, kind of like I used to, but I haven't in years. And then I can just, you know, stick them in the appropriate month, and then put all my favorite people, my friends, my family, put all their birthdays on the appropriate pockets, and then I'm ready to go. It's going to be so much more efficient. So, but something that I want to do is I'm going to use the month labels, so to speak, from my organizational labels kit. And let me see if I have, what did I do? Oh, okay. Here's the other half. I decided to use the silver, but there's also the gold version. And I just went ahead and cut them out again off camera to save time. But I did all my months in the silver, and I'm going to just glue it over top of the word month, just kind of like that. But you don't have to. You certainly don't have to. But I kind of like the way that looks. So, but if you can certainly, you know, just write your month. If you have nice handwriting, then go for it. So let's see. And I printed this out on cardstock just to make it a little bit chunkier. I don't know. I thought I'd like the look of that a little bit better. So, good old art glitter glue. Again, don't need much. And I'm going to put it just about there. Okay. Lovely. So now for the most technical part of this, and it's not that scary, so don't be scared. But this is where the hole punch measurements come in. I'm going to bring this back. So, hole punches along this side. So, I'm going to get my pencil. And I'm going to punch the holes just kind of like right in between here on this border here. So I'm going to just kind of put my ruler along that edge and measure out the 1 inch. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see that. There's a flower right there that looks like it might, this could be part of the flower. Make it nice and dark. Okay, 1 inch, 4 1/4. And 7 1/2. Now again, these measurements are just what worked for me with my proportions and everything. You know, you could do it differently if you'd like. You could do 4 rings if you want, but I figured 3 should be enough. We'll see. So now I will punch. Here's my first mark. Can you see that? I don't know. But I can't see it, which is important because I'm the one punching, right? So put it kind of right over the center of it. And then the second one. And this is going to be a little bit tougher. I have very weak hands. So I may need to use both hands because you've got a thickness of 2 sides there. Okay. That worked out well. Okay, and then one more right about here. Okay, great. Now, get myself organized here. Okay, so now I shall get my grommets. I just love that word, grommet. grommet. Okay, so I don't know if you've, for those of you that may not be familiar with how this works, I'll just kind of do it slowly and explain it a little bit more. These have different settings that you can spin. They've got different widths and depths of how you want, you know, it really depends on what kind of size you're working with here. So anyway, for my purposes, I'm using the kind of broader flat one because it's a pretty big one. So I'm turning it to the center, and then this guy's got two settings. There's like a thicker spoke and a thinner one. I'm going to be using the thicker one. So, well, if I can get it back. Well, okay. All right, so I want the finish, the pretty side, to be on obviously the front. So I'm going to place it like that, and the spokey part is going down into this. And I'm actually going to flip it upside down. I feel like I get a cleaner pinch. So, and I may have to stand up to do this. Like I said, I've got weak hands. I have to put like all my weight into it. So, okay. And just push and crimp. And then as you can see, it crimped the edges down, and the front is lovely, nice and clean. All right, so I'm going to do that again. Okay, I'm doing it awkwardly. Let me just do it this way. I'm trying to do it so that you can see every step, but sometimes that's just not possible. So I'm going to stand up, put all my weight into it. Okay. And we'll do it again, putting the nice side on the front. Okay, there you have it. Now, how easy was that? Really? Seriously? Okay, that was easy. Admit it, admit it. Okay, so now I'm bringing out all the others that I did off camera. So I've got January, February, and I just did, you know, different combos. Of all my different papers in the kit, and just a nice little fun variety of all of them. I'm so excited. This is going to be so handy for me. Okay, so now let's just play with this for a minute here. Get out the book binder rings, separate it out. And let me see if I can get through. Whoops. Whoopsie. Now, honestly, they're not all perfectly aligned. Perfectly. They should be close, because I measured out the, you know, the 1 inch, 4 1/4, and 7 1/2. But, you know, there's always room for error. What's that? There's 2 of them going to stick. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pinch that back. Do it again for the middle. Okay, there's somebody misbehaving in here. Okay. Get back in your place, sir. Okay. Let me see if this will be any quicker now that they're kind of lined up already. Yes. Boom. Boom. Okay, I'm not going to put the third one on because I want to make a cover for this, right? You have to have a cover. Oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect. Okay, so take this off. Now the cover I have not done off camera. I'm going to do it with you. And you're going to get to experiment with me, if you don't mind. So keep watching. Okay, so set these aside. Okay, so what I did do off camera was I already cut them. And I just, I cut them the same size. I thought about doing them a little bit larger, but I decided against that. And I can't tell you why. I really don't know why. I figured it would work out fine if they're exactly the same. For any other kind of book, I would want the cover a little bit larger so that it, stuck out over the pages a little bit. But I don't know, for this one, I just figured the same size should be fine. So I'm not cutting off that 3-inch to make a pocket because I want this to be solid. But something I did think about that I may go ahead with is, I think I'm going to make the cover have, at least the front cover, have a bit of a pocket as well. So instead of gluing this all down solid, I think I'm going to just glue the top and the side, and then on this side have a little pocket for like stamps. That'd be kind of handy, wouldn't it? That way you've got your birthday book ready with stamps and maybe even your address labels or something. I don't know, I thought a pocket would be handy, so I'm going to make a pocket. I've just talked myself back into it. Okay, so let me see. I was going to use some scraps. Try to use up some of this. Yes. Yes and yes. Okay. I just love that one. Okay, so let me think here. Let me think. I think I will do like a little border around it. Leave some of the green around it. So let's see. So if I did that, let's see, if I leave a 1/4 inch border, then I need to cut that at 8 1/8. No, 1 1/4, sorry. 8 1/4. 8 1/4. Yeah, because I'm doing 2 skinny strips. So let me do my pull out this beast. All right, so I want this to be my top, so I'm going to slice off. There's not much to slice off, but I am going to slice a little bit. Let me move this over here. Okay. Eight 1/4. So this all depends on, on the size that you decide to make yours. You might make yours smaller or even larger. Completely up to you. This is just my first attempt at this, and I thought the measurements through a little bit, and I think this is what's going to work for me. But you can do whatever works for you. So let's see. Yeah, that works really good. And I'm going to intentionally leave more space here, because we're going to be doing the grommets. I don't know. I guess I could. I don't know. Let me think. Because the grommets are going to cover up. Of course, they cover up, part of the paper and part of the thing here too. So I don't know. Let me think. Do I want to do it completely like that? And the grommets will be sitting here. if I do it like that? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave an edge. I don't know. I feel like I need to leave an edge there. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna try this after all on this, just because I know if I use this glue, it will have, like, it'll show up the beads, the beading of it, and when I say beading, like the row of glue. It didn't matter so much on the inside because it's like the inside's of pockets and it's going to be covered up anyway. But this is on the outside, and I really would like to have it smooth. If this doesn't work, I will have to get out my brush and brush the paint, brush the glue on. And that's okay. Just for some reason, I'd rather not do that, but I will if I have to. Let me try though and see if this will hold it well enough. Let's just give it a shot here. Maybe it'll work better than I thought. I don't know. There were a couple times I tried it and it just did not want to stick. Let's give it a minute to cure, I guess. Do this one too. Just get it on really thick. I don't want the corners coming up, that's for sure. Okay, well, let's try this. This way. This way? Yeah. Get it lined up exactly. Exactly. I have a feeling. I don't have a good feeling about this at all. Well, maybe. Maybe if I do the corners more. I don't know. It's peeling up awfully easy. But I really don't want to get a brush out and full of glue. Actually, maybe just the corners that need it extra. See, that's coming up way too easy. Ay. Okay. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt here. Okay. As long as the corners don't come up, I think that'll be okay. Okay, I'm gonna chance it. Call me lazy, but I'm not going to get a brush out. All right, so what I think I'd like to do now, I want to put some lace down the middle, kind of to camouflage that seam. So, let me see. can't tell which side's up and which side's down. I don't think it matters really. Okay, so okay, all right. For this, I definitely want to use the stronger glue. Oops, come on now. No little puny glue stick for this stuff, that's for sure. Okay. All right, I'm liking that. What do you guys think? I'm liking that. I want to embellish it a little bit more. I don't want to overdo it. Kind of want to keep it simple. Oh, I have a fussy cut here from the kit as well. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna do that. And just call that good. No, I want to put something else. Hang on. Oh, I have an idea. I'll be right back. Okay. I feel like I want to add a little bit of depth. Just another little layer of something. So maybe a little bit of this cheesecloth. Maybe. I wish I had a different color, but this is the best I have. It may work okay. Let me see. I'm looking around. I'm looking around my craft room to see. That's not quite doing it for me. Shoot. Okay. Hang on. Hold the phone. What about this? What about this? I like that better. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what I need to do about this. I love Sari silk ribbon. Have I mentioned that before? I do. I love it. So what if I did something like that? Kind of looks like a leaf, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm going for it. Just try and stop me now. I'm gonna spread it out in the middle so I have a little bit more of a flat surface for my fussy cut. I don't want to lose the character of the crinkle either, so I think that's how we're gonna do it. All right, and I'm gonna put quite a bit of glue in the middle here. And I'm gonna hold that steady until it dries. Oh, there's some glue coming out. Okay. I don't know, it's kind of unorthodox, but I kind of like it. I may add something later, I don't know. But I'm gonna go with this, okay. But this does still need to dry. I'm gonna put this on top, and I'm gonna come back in a few minutes. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, that looks more stable. All right, now I'm going to glue the top and the side. Of course, the bottom already has the fold, which will leave a pocket for that. So, but something I need to consider is I'm going to be punching holes in here too, so I don't want to put the glue all the way. Maybe I'll punch the holes first. Let me do that. I'll punch the holes first, and then we'll see how that plays into where I need to put the glue. So, and I did want the holes to be more on here, but I don't want to get too close to the edge. So, okay. Anyway, it doesn't have to be exact. None of this is an exact science for sure. So 1 inch, 4 1/4, right? Let me look at my cheat sheet. Yep, 4 1/4 and 7 1/2. Okay. Let's just do that first. Where did I, okay, here we go. Trying to decide how deep to go. I think I need it to match close to the pages. You know what? Here, let's try this. Let's do this. Ta-da! 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 There, that's a much better idea. See, I just, I learn as I go myself. I make up things as I go and I learn as I go. So I know you guys can't see my circles, but you get the idea. You saw what I just did, so I think that's probably the best way to go about. Okay. So now when I glue, I'm just going to glue on, on this side of the holes, because the grommets will hold this side kind of together. So, okay, let's see. So I'm going to do the side and the top so that I have a pocket coming from the front side. Okay. Oops, I'm oozing. I'm oozing. Let me get my little handy wipes. Okay. Now, you may notice that it kind of wants to curl a little bit because of glue and such. And actually what I did with the other months that I did ahead of time, I put them all under a heavy box, and it kind of pressed them together nicely and flattened them a little bit better. You can kind of tell the difference. This is the one this is the one I just made on camera, and it's kind of curvy and wavy. And these are some that I had pressed under heavy weight, and they look better a little bit. So I'll probably leave January alone, but yeah, it'll be okay. But it does flatten and make everything a little bit straighter if you take some time and put some weight on it. Okay, I'm gonna trim this lace just a little bit. It's kind of hanging over. Just a little bit of a scruffle there. Okay. Now, look, I have a pocket for stamps. That's awesome. That's gonna come in handy. Okay, so time to put the grommets. Trying to put the grommets on the side. Why did I all of a sudden have an accent for this? I don't know. I don't even know what accent it is. I think I started out trying to be British. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it turned into, but it's not a great accent. I actually love accents, and I love doing accents, but I'm a little bit muddled this time around. You want to get it good and tight, because you don't want them moving around. Actually, when I was drawing the circle from the January page, I noticed the grommet was a little bit loose. So let me see. Yeah, you see that? Can you see how it's moving? You don't really want that. These are good and tight. So let me see if I can tighten that. I hope it's not too late. Gotta stand up. Ah, yes, that's better. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's the front cover. I kind of like it. What do you guys think? And so for the back cover, I'm not going to dress it up because it's the back cover. And I'm just going to glue the whole thing down, because, or do I want another pocket? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let me draw holes so that they match. Okay. Okay, Do I want a pocket? You know what? Why not? A girl can never have too many pockets, right? I'm not going to dress it up, but I am going to leave it with a pocket. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did. But if you don't think you want a pocket, or you don't need another pocket, that's fine. You can just put glue everywhere and just shut the whole thing shut. Oop, squish out glue again. Okay. All right. Whew, I used a lot of grommets for this project. I still have quite a few, but this bag was like this full. But that's okay. That's what it's for. If we don't use it, what's the point? All right. So, oh, actually, I'm going to do it. Okay, here's the pocket. This is the back. I'm going to put the grommet on the nice side on the back for this, just so that, you know what I mean? So the front and back, when you look at it, the finished side is on the back. So I'm going to do it opposite of what I did for all the other pages, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna stand up, use all my weight. I've always had weak hands. I'm a little weakling. I have weak ankles and wrists. But that's okay. I make do. Gotta do what you gotta do to do what you wanna do. That one felt weird, but I guess it's okay. It's a little thicker. The whole thing is a little bit thicker. Okay, that's all right. Okay, now let's do it. We're putting it all together. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, ma'ams. Okay, I am so excited. Okay. All right. Trying to do this the quick way, but I'm not sure. I need to make sure it's, I mean, I could just do them one by one, but again, I'm either lazy or I'm efficient. I'm gonna go with efficient. Okay, that's not working. The first ring, you really do kind of need to do one by one. But the second and third rings should go quicker because everything's going to be more aligned and not quite as loosey-goosey. Okay. Lovely. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do it now all in one shot. Or close enough. Yeah, it's working pretty good. Pretty good. Oh. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Almost. Oh, so close. Okay. So close. Okay, we're getting there, people. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, my eyes are crossing. My eyes are crossing trying to make this. This one is not quite aligned as good as the others. That's my bad. But it should still work. It's not that far off. Okay, this isn't as quick as I thought it would be. Okay. All right, you guys. This is it. Isn't this awesome? Oh my goodness. Here, let me put some cards in here. Look at you guys. Look at what we just made. This is awesome. This is going to come in so handy. I love practical beauty. I love making things that are pretty and practical. Functional art, that's what I like to call it. Whoops. So there you go, guys. And you know, I was thinking about adding a few more pockets for weddings, like wedding cards, baby shower cards, thank you cards, what have you. But I don't think these rings, it can't handle much more. This is the 2-inch rings is just right for a year's worth of birthday cards. If you wanted to, and I may, get larger rings, like 3-inch bookbinder rings, and then I'll add a few more pockets for generic stuff, you know, like the weddings and baby showers and stuff, so I could keep it all in one book. But if you just want birthday card organizer, the 2 inches should work just fine. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've been inspired. You know, come up with your own version. Like I said, the measurements are not absolutely set in stone. I think for me, these are going to work. The size is going to work very well. But there you go, you guys. Have fun. Go have fun creating. Bye. But wait, there's more. I almost forgot. The most important part of all. I'm going to be offering you a discount code if you want to buy the French Country Lilac Junk Journal Kit to make this, or to make anything else, honestly. I'm going to offer you 15% off with this code on my Etsy store, Lilac15. If you want to get the organizational label kit to use, which is silver and gold versions of months and days and numbers 1 through 31, so you can organize away on not just this, but any other project that you may need those for. And I will give you 15% off code for that as well, which will be org15. If you want to get both kits together to make this or anything else, I will gladly give you 20% off if you get both kits, and that code is LilacOrg20. All right, I'm going to leave this right here for a minute so that you can take a screenshot. And I would also like to encourage you to join my Facebook community, and you will get lots of freebies and tutorials and challenges and just be with kindred spirits. We have a lot of fun on there, and I would love for you to join us. All right, see you guys later.